So we just picked up our new BMW M2 at the dealership, and as you know, we don't like stock cars, so we're going to completely rebuild the car to something really special. Rowan will explain more about the parts that we will use, but as first step we will take off the brake calipers, bring them to the paint shop, put them back on, so from that point we can bring the complete car to the paint shop.
Fixed.
Ready?
Yeah, ready to start the car. Oh.
Who's going to do it?
I'll let you do it. I'll let you do it.
Okay, okay.
I don't take the responsibility for any errors or whatsoever.
Well, I think it will have some errors, but yeah, hopefully no popping airbags or something.
Where should I look for smoke? Screen is working. Luckily. Hood is open. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we can start the car.
Yeah, professionals.
It works.
Ready for the next step? Game plan.
I think we should fit the new parts.
Yeah?
The Alpha N parts.
Some
and
test
then,
fitting.
I'll show the guys around about what we are going to do.
Okay, cool. Well, let's put the fenders on and
Yeah?
see from there.
We now fitted some of the Alpha N parts and it's already looking mental. I want to explain about this project, for what we're going to do, what our intention is, but that's something for later on. Let's start on the front. We just fitted the hood. As you can see, fully exposed carbon fiber. But it's not going to stay fully exposed because we are going to paint all these parts. And the fenders are looking pretty, as you can see. There's a little bit changed. They are not wider than original because they are wide enough. But as you can see, Alpha N added these louvers. And this is for the wind to come out of the wheel well. Usually it cleans up the air and it's better for your aerodynamics. Also, these blades are more aesthetic and look like aerodynamics as well. But it's a bit GT3 RS style, the new one. Because the fender is going in and the air can go through the blade all the way to the back. But as you can see, we all took that apart, so there's not much to see at this moment. And that's why we're not going to the back, but we are going over here. The carbon fiber diffuser. What we're going to put on still needs an under tray, and that's going under the exhaust, also fully exposed carbon fiber. It's a really nice piece, weighs nothing. It's literally top quality, so that's great. This part you might recognize, because this is the spoiler that's going on the boot lid, and it looks a lot like the E36 M3 spoiler. And that's also the thing that what you're going to do with the M2. Because it's going to be a GT replica or M2 GT, new version of the E36 M3, whatever. But we're going to do it all the way. The spoiler is designed in the way that the original E36 spoiler is designed. And we are going to paint the spoiler and the rest of the car in the exact color as the E36 M3 GT. So it's going to be dark green and it's going to look awesome. The grille's also changed. You've got a lot of lines in the original grille, and this one was already only got one line, and it looks much more aggressive than the original one. And now for the interior part, because am I worried? Yeah, maybe. There's a lot that goes out of this car, but it's still quite similar to any other car. And why did we do this? Not because we are going to paint the exterior of this car, of course. You don't need to take everything out. But we also going to change the dashboard with Alcantara and green leather and green details. The steering wheel, the center console, the rear seats, almost everything. The carpet stays black, just velours black, because that's like the M3 GT. It's not that hard, but it's a lot of work.
Hi everyone, I'm Barry from MSS, and today I'm going to be taking you through our hybrid system on this G87 M2. So to start with, we have quite a few components on this system to make it unique. We have a main sleeve which we push fit onto the shock, and on this sleeve we have an adjustable drop link bracket which you can adjust the heights to whichever height you manage to get to on the car. We have two springs on this solution. We have a lower tender spring and we have a main orange spring. We also have a nice aluminium coupler in the centre, and yeah, it all looks nice and pretty. Whilst we've got the car up, we're going to lower the car a bit more so that it sits better, a better stance.
Ik ben aan het filmen voor als er wat verkeerd gaat. Maar...
We were about to wrap this project up, and then we thought it's not complete yet. We have to do more than this. And the only thing left over was the performance, because stock power is never enough. And that's why we are going to use all these beautiful parts. To start off with these turbos. This is a Lada Manufactura turbo, LM turbo, and to be precise, it's the LM900 Plus. The core is new, this hole is bigger, the compressor wheel is bigger, and the shaft is stronger, so it's capable of more than 900 horsepower. We aren't going to tune it to that figure, because we are leaving the gearbox stock for now, but they're able, so it's always good to have something left in the tank. To have everything working with the turbos, we also need different downpipes. And these are from Akrapovic. We're going to install the complete system, but the catalytic converter is 200 cells, am I right? Yeah, 200 cells. And that's a lot bigger than original. Also no OPF in the system, and this way the turbos can breathe much more easy, and that's necessary because otherwise you blow up the turbos. Over here you see the CSF intake manifold. So this part is all CNC'd out of one block of pressed aluminium. You can also use these holes for port injection. So you have an extra set of injectors and a fuel rail, which you can use for more horsepower if you want to go all the way. This is the start. From this point on, you can add anything you want, but also for cooling, it cools way better than the stock manifold because there's an intercooler behind it, and the core that's being used is supplied by PWR. This part keeps the intake manifold 30 degrees colder than the OEM application, only by adding the spacer. So looks simple, but the technique behind it is really special. Then the CSF heat exchanger, we will replace the original one by this one, also because there's more volume, you have more cooling, and we want to keep the heat down, of course, because when the heat is down, we have better performance. They are really good in high performance applications, so that's where we go for. And this piece is also CSF. This is the transmission oil cooling. And now the beautiful carbon fiber pieces, which you will really see when you pop the hood. Weighs exactly nothing, and this system alone will add 18 horsepower to the stock setup. Our setup will not remain stock, but it does have a... That was scary. It does have a lot better attraction for air than original air filters have. But we have a lot of things to do because as a motor show is around the corner, as we would say, and everything has to go in. We've got 2 days left, and you might see it's still stripped. So let's get things started, get it ready for the show, and after the show, I think we are going to do a separate video on the tuning part with our partner, and then we're going for the figures. Now, a few days ahead in time, we almost finished the car and we have a couple of small things to do. EBC Brakes gave us a visit for these bad boys. So we got new brakes, new rotors and new brake pads for the front and the rear to replace the really heavy brake rotors in the front. And also the pads are better in performance but also lower in dust. These doesn't only look beautiful, but they're lighter weight because they're floating. So this is a billet aluminum hard center, and then we got the slotted brakes. They don't stay black, unfortunately, because when you brake, the black goes off and you got a nice clean surface. Time to get these mounted. Oh. This must be the most outrageous BMW M2 in the world. And the things we didn't mention yet, and what is really important to this project, is, for example, the front lip. It's an Alpha N full exposed carbon fiber front lip, but just like the E36 M3 GT, it's extendable. So now it's halfway, but when we undo the bolts, we can shove it out even more, double this size. We like it this way, but on the SM Motor Show, we are going to shove it all out, of course. We want the baddest look it can be. A really important part, and then maybe one of the most important parts, is the wheels. This is from HRE, the 528 FMR-X, and this is a design based on, as well, the E36 M3. In the front we have a 20-inch wheel and in the rear 21-inch. The center is polished bronze and the outer lip is brushed clear. And to top it all off, because we've got a lot of carbon fiber, we also went for the carbon fiber center caps. The angle of the rear wing is fantastic. It's also for producing a lot of downforce. But the best part is that it looks so good. It's in two-piece, just like the E36 M3 GT. And underneath the big ass wing, we've got the carbon fiber logo and our own M2 GT logo. And this one we sprayed in quite a similar color as the wheels are. As well, for the exhaust tips. This is an Akrapovic system that goes from the turbos all the way to the rear. But we had to make it custom, so we took the carbon fiber of the exhaust tips, we took it off and painted it as well in the color of the centers of the wheels. This is a carbon fiber Alpha N diffuser, but extra to this diffuser is this underfloor. Also, again, Alpha N. It goes all the way underneath the car. Is it also for aerodynamics? I don't actually really know, but it looks like it. And it's really well designed, makes it so much better than any other diffuser that's on the market. And look at the rear. It's crazy, right? Wow. This comes together really well. And we used a lot of our partners' parts. You've seen it before, the CSF. For cooling, you want to have the car cool every time, also when you push the pedal a lot of times. Eventuri with all the carbon fiber bits that they supply, the CSL brace, but also the golden wrench, nuts and bolts, the carbon fiber hood on the inside of Alpha N. It sits so nice. The one thing you don't see are of course the LM turbos from Nada Manufactura, but you will feel them when you drive it. And that's also really important. Yeah, this was also a big job to do because it's not only the seats where we did the upholstery for, but also the door cards, and as you can see, the steering wheel and the dashboard. But for the rest of the upholstery, we took the idea of the E36 M3 GT and also again made it more modern. So we took green leather for the inside and black Alcantara for the outside. The same goes for the door cards, same goes for the steering wheel, and this is one of the eye catchers for this project. We couldn't make a badge like the GT has, but we did imprint it in the dashboard. The same goes for the door sills. It's a detail, but if you can see it up close, you can see that there's M2 GT in it. And another detail, and therefore the camera needs to come closer, come, is in the headrest. Again, custom M2 GT. So this is a big toy for boys actually. And you've seen the eVenturi under the bonnet. You know that eVenturi does a lot of good things. And now Evolve, the company behind eVenturi, they also came up with another toy for the car. And that's cool, right? It's the shift pedals. They made it out of CNC'd aluminium. And they integrated a magnetic strip, or I don't know what technique they used, but this feels really solid, and the sound it makes is just amazing.